Hello everyone, how's it going? Today I'm going to be showcasing my any deck profile that I used for a Nexus Knight and have been playing online for quite a bit now. So the Nexus Knight, I ended up going undefeated. I went 3-0. It was supposed to be a 4-round Nexus Knight, but unfortunately the website went down mid-tournament, so we were not able to play round 4. My matchup in this tournament, they were Jinx, which was round 1. Which was kind of a funny matchup because it was also a very aggro deck, and it was quite hard to take control of the games because they were scoring points really fast, but I was able to catch up every time. So I ended up winning that one. Then round 2, I played against Set, which is one of the harder matchups for the deck, I believe, which is why we side quite heavily for it. And then in round 3 we played against Victor, which was very back and forth. They were really cool games. He played very well, but in game 3 it came down to me being able to play around Week, which he did end up having, and that won me that match. So let's get into it. All timestamps will be in the description as well, so if you don't want to listen to too much of my yapping or are not interested in certain parts of the deck, just check the description and skip to the parts where you are most interested in. So, for our battlefields, our game 1 battlefield, usually Zolmorans, just helps us cycle through our deck and gets us to the cards that we need. Then, game 2 and 3, I change it up sometimes between the Arena's Greatest and Dreaming Tree. If I lose game 1 and I'm going first, game 2, I'll play the Arena's Greatest. And this is the one that I use if I go second. It just helps with card draw. I feel like in this deck it's very important to get to your key pieces as fast as you can. You might not utilize it always as good as other decks, the Dreaming Tree, but still the card draw, you are able to utilize it quite well. Just not as good as decks like Ari, for example, or Victor in some cases. But the card draw is still quite necessary. Then we go to the runes. So for the runes, I played 4 Chaos runes and 8 Fury runes. Most of our cards don't have a lot of power costs, but the ones that do are mainly Fury. There is only one card in the deck which costs Chaos power plus our chosen champion. Alright, then let's get into the main deck. So obviously our legend is Annie. For those who don't know what Annie does, it's at the end of your turn you will ready 2 of your runes, which is really good, gives you a lot of resources and makes it so you don't have to always think that hard about how much mana am I leaving up and those kinds of things. And then our chosen champion is Annie Stubborn. This one is just really good. It's very toolboxy. You can just take a spell from your graveyard deck that you need. So it's really a really good champ. Then for our 2 drops, we are playing Triple Traveling Merchant. Again, helps us cycle through our deck. We get to the pieces that we need. Triple Pautiporo. It's great into Kaisa, and it's probably the best other 2-drop that we could play within these colors, so that's why we play it. And then we play Triple Vi. So we have 9 2-drops in total. The reason I went for 9 is because we play quite Annie is an aggro deck, and you really don't want to be missing your 2-drop. Also, I would prefer to start with these, which is why I max out of them, because we tried and use Vi as a finisher. However, sometimes you will just see the Vi and not one of these guys, and you will have to play the Vi on your first turn with a power, which does feel kind of bad, but it's not the end of the world, because it is immediately a 3-might unit that you're putting up on the board, which is quite a lot of pressure, plus it is ganking, so it does allow you to take points quite fast. But again, it's not always the most ideal. Then we play Sneaky Deckhand. Really good card. Again, helps us take the point lead early on, which is very important in this deck. You want to score points fast and then close out games with cards like Vire plus Ride the Wind, or Darius plus Ride the Wind, plus a Cleave, for example. So that's where this card comes in. Then we play Triple Kaisa. card draw, able to accelerate, so again, in the team, take points fast and get a lot of value out of your cards. Then for the last monster, Triple Darius, we're playing a red deck, one of our best finishers. Then we move on to the spells. Stack deck, no explanation needed, it's consistency, it's really good. Then we play Triple Cleave, we're an aggro deck. The way we play is usually we will take points, then go back and try to retake points. We very rarely hold, and it works with Dreaming Tree. Then we play Double Flesh. I only had 2. If I had 3, I would play 3, but it's a Proving Grounds card, so it's quite hard to come by. I luckily was able to get my hands on Proving Grounds, so I had access to the cards. But definitely, if you have 3, try to play 3. Then we're also playing Triple Fight or Flight. This one I would cut to 2 and play the third Flesh for. If I had it, the idea is that we're trying to protect our units, so like I just said, we're trying to move them back, then attack again. Or Fight or Flight then has the extra additional effect. That's where you can also choose to push back your opponent's units, which can be very helpful into, again, matchups like this. Then we have Ridewind. This in combination with, for example, a Vice, how we try to close out games. If I see the card early, I will often discard it with the Traveling Merchant or Zone Warrants, and then get it back whenever I need it with the Annie. It's also really good for protecting your units. If they move on a battlefield, you can move other units from another battlefield there, so it's a very, very, very versatile card. Then we're playing Triple Scrap Heap. This is just there in the deck simply just for game 1, because game 1 we always choose on warrants and then we get a lot of value out of it. Games 2 and 3 we never keep these into the deck unless you expect, like you're in, let's say, a Jinx matchup and they didn't play on warrants yet. You can expect them to play it in the next game and you can keep them in, but still then you 99% of the times you're siding it. Then for our removal, we have 1 Falling Star. We're not Kaisa, so the 2 power is quite rough, which is why we play just 1, but we still want to have it in the deck, so our opponent has to be wary about it whenever they see us use it, for example, in game 1. And then we place Triple Void Seeker, just good removal plus draws, no explanation needed. Then for the final portion of the deck, we have the side deck. So our side deck consists of 2 Veins. It's really good into Kaisa in my opinion, because on attack it goes up to 5, which puts it out of Void Seeker range puts it out of, I can't think of the name, but the Hextech Ray, yeah, Hextech Ray, that's the one. So it's quite good in that matchup, and it's a good tempo card because it enters ready if your opponent has a battlefield, which often they don't expect you to play a Vein on like turn when you have 4 runes up and just take the battlefield. They're often not prepared for that. Then Double Gust usually comes in against some aggro matchups where you wanna prevent them from scoring points early. Then 1 more Falling Star for games where we really need the removal. And if we see too many Falling Stars where we really want to see it, and then if we do end up seeing both, we can still just discard 1 from like our Traveling Merchants. So it's fine. You can always get rid of the one that you don't want to play. Of course, sometimes you're in situations where you do have to play multiple Falling Stars. And for example, if you play 1 and then you have to get 1 back from with any from the graveyard in certain situations, which does put you back a lot of runes, but the tempo you gain from it can often be worth it. And then the last card in our side deck is Triple Rebuke. I think this is a must for the set matchups. There's quite a lot of set in my area. It also helps against Aurora matchups or Rampy matchups, so it's quite good into those decks. Which is why we play it. Alright everyone, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.